over 80 hours building the biggest retail tycoon you've ever seen. We even bought the most expensive vehicles this game has to offer. And in today's video, I'll be showing you how I did this starting from day one. Alrighty, let's get started with the new slot. Alright, what are we calling? Dryopolis sounds good. Alright, apparently it's a cuss word. Alright, hopefully this one isn't considered an offensive slur, and it wasn't. Alright, now time to claim our plot. Alright, this is our little store. Perfect. We want the tutorial? Nah. We're a self-starter. We don't need anyone to tell us what to do. Alright, we already got our first shelves, and we hired Soup. Okay, why is it still giving me the tutorial? We don't need no tutorial to tell us what to do. We're a self-starter. Alright, the first thing we gotta do is bring the packages home. Let's go. Alright, we don't need to take the paths. We can just do this every time, right? Alright, we included a little video game aisle so we can earn a little bit more money. This is quite a slow process I'm seeing, so let's see what I can do for this. Alright, starting off with day one, we started off bringing our usual supplies, trying to make the store a little bit bigger and making that extra. We'll see what I can do for this. Alright, starting off with day one, we started off bringing our usual supplies, trying to make the store a little bit bigger and making that extra cash flow. This was quite a long process, so you'll be seeing time-lapse like these all the time around this video, but I'll make sure to keep you up to date and show you what I've increased and how I've increased it. Alright, so we've increased our store a little bit. We added a couple of technology, a couple of shelves, a cash register, a few trash cans to keep it clean, just to be making even more money. But I started to realize that the way to go isn't through food. It gives you too little money for the amount of time I'm spending in this game. I've already spent around 2 hours working on all this, and I haven't even gotten near to the point I want to be at. But let's keep going. Alright, so we changed the store up a little bit just to make it more money. We ended up using technology now, as you can see. I have tablets, iPhones, computers, and video games in the back, just because it makes me a little bit more money. I'm learning as I go right now, so have patience with me, guys, please. So I let it go for a couple of hours to see where I would be after a few hours of doing some schoolwork. Yes, I am still in school. I know it's summer, but I'm currently in summer school college right now. So I'm trying to do my work and be responsible. But as I'm doing it, I'm playing. So what's not great about that? But I ended up walking to a random location while I was AFK. I'm not sure how this happened, but hey, at least it made me a little bit more money and did not take me out of the game. I ended up making around $25,000 by the end of this time lapse, so it's time to make our newest change. Alrighty, we got the 24K. It's time to see what we can buy. Let's see if we can make our store a little bit more pretty and make us more money, of course. Alright, so I ended up buying a few more shelves and a bigger parking so I get more people around and just have faster revenue, of course, trying to make those big money plans. Let me get rid of this tree real quick. It's kind of in the way. That's how I delete it, yeah? Alright, perfect. Alright, well, I went AFK for a little bit and I have a little bit of money, just a little bit, you know, definitely the most I've ever had. And guess what? I bought a tank. Yes, I mean, I actually bought it with Robux. So I now have every military item, and I also can sell weapons. What's not great about that, right, guys? I wish the tank could shoot. I'm trying to shoot. I don't know. Comment down below if there's any way to shoot the tank because I haven't found a way. All right, but it's time to make some changes to our store. All right, so we increased the size of it a little bit more, and I added a area to put your car. I wish I could put the tank right now, but I just saw that it was 500,000, so I don't think I'm going to be getting that anytime soon. We also got this vehicle for some reason. I mean, it does give you a little bit more storage, but this ain't even the biggest truck. And there's like planes and shit, so why would I want that? Like, why would I use that if I got this? This is a huge ass truck. It's not the biggest storage, and it's not the only vehicle we're getting this video, so stay tuned. We're definitely getting that blimp and then the helicopter. Alright, let me just manage to figure out how this works. I ain't gonna lie, I just bought this, so I kinda... Alright, well, how do I... Jesus. Alright, we figured it out. We on the road again. Alright, so we let this run for a couple of hours just to be making a little bit more money so we can make a second floor and even make more money. We ended up getting 132,000 to invest in a new floor. So at this point, we were around 10 hours in, and we finally got the second floor. Now, I know it's taking a little bit more time to make more money, but the more we make, the faster we increase in size. Trust me, by the end of this, you will see the biggest retail tycoon you've ever seen. Right now, we're in the first stage of increasing it. Trust me, we got a lot more stages to go. All right, so here's our second floor. It really isn't much, but hey, it's a start. We also got some offices so to start getting some loans and getting a little bit more money. At this point, there wasn't really much we could do just to wait and start increasing and getting a little bit more money. Right now, I'm just making sure we have enough money to tear this entire building down and make the first structure. I already have a goal in mind on how I want this tycoon to look like. I want it to look like a mall, like a nice big mall. Alright, so we started the construction on this first, or the second stage of this mall, and I wanted to have every store to be different just so it looked like a tiny little mini mall, and it just looked really cute. I ended up doing the first floor first and try to make every single room different, and then I started decorating it before I moved to the second floor. Now the second floor, it just ended up being around 3 to 4 stores just because it was like the bigger aisles where the appliances was and all the groceries were, and a car dealership, which is pretty neat. So just to make that little extra money. Alright, so this is the store. I made a couple of decorations, added a couple of more things, but it pretty much has everything you would want. It has a technology aisle, it has a couple of offices, it has everything. The floor is a little bit dirty at the moment, so I kind of need to work that around on how I can make this place a little more clean. But I am proud of it. It looks really cool. What do you guys think? Comment down below. Alright, so we let this running for a whole nother day just because I needed to make a little more money to do the next upgrade of this store. But I started realizing that I wasn't really making much money at all, so I had to switch up my strategy and go for a new store. So I ended up deleting everything and making around $1.7 million, and I saw a tutorial on the best store you could use to earn money fast and the most efficient. That this one would have a 5-star rating and would be quite easy to build. You might see these quite a lot, but it's just the most efficient. It has appliances only, which is the best way to make money in this game. Alright, this is a monumental part of my video. This is probably going to be the final store I'm going to build. I'm going to leave it at this so I can get to my goal and start making a bigger store. As you can see, it's only appliances and it's a lot of glass, which I like a lot. It looks very clean. But yeah, we're probably just going to stick with this store before we upgrade to anything else. Comment down below, what do you think of this store? It looks cool, right? It looks pretty good. So this is probably the longest time lapse I had in this entire gameplay, just because I wanted to keep this store until I made the most amount of money. As you can see, the money is coming up pretty fast. I'm pretty sure this time lapse ended up being around 24 hours, literally a whole entire day. And a couple of funny things happened in between. So as you can probably remember, I left myself in front of my store before I left this running. So the question is, how did I turn up over here? I didn't move. So apparently this was happening while I wasn't playing. Some dude pulled up on a van and put me in his ride and just took me out. Apparently I got kidnapped in this video and he just drove me to the middle of nowhere just to confuse the hell out of me. So props to this guy. This was incredibly hilarious. I just got napped in a van and taken against my will. Alright, so we ended up getting to our goal, and I decided to start building the new building. We started off with the parking, just because if the building's gonna look good, I want the parking to look good as well. And I outdid myself with the parking. It did alright. But I didn't want this to be any ordinary building. I wanted it to look as clean, as fresh as possible. My game did end up crashing through the process, but that's just part of the fun, am I right, guys? I want to make this the most like architectural building you've ever seen when it comes to design. I took a couple of inspirations off Google and just started building and went at it. And I did play a lot of Minecraft in my time and a lot of other tycoon games, so I have a little bit of experience building. And I ain't gonna lie, I think I outdid myself when I created this building. The inside, the outside, and the parking all fit perfectly with each other. You'll probably see by the end of this video that this is the best building you've ever seen in your life. Alright, after like around 30, 40, 50, 60, I don't even know how many hours have passed, we have finally made it. So this is our parking lot. I added these little like walkways just because I thought they looked cool, and I added a little roof on the parking just because I also thought it looked cool. Come on, if we're gonna have a nice looking building, we might as well have a nice looking parking. But here it is. Tell me what you guys think of this. This is by far the coolest building you've ever seen, right? Alright, let me give you a better look from the sky. Alright, so yes, this is the sky view, and yes, we have a helicopter. Tell me what you think of this building. Is this building 5 stars or what? Look at, even the back looks really clean. I outdid myself by far. Like, I used to play this game before, so I kind of already made a building like this, but this one's just very clean. Alright, out of 10, comment down below what you rate this building. Alright, let me take this chopper out of the way so I can actually show you properly what this building has to offer, because it is a really majestic building. Alright, let's start off with the tour. Alright, first we got our little fountain in the beginning, we got a little balcony, we got a couple of stores. So it still hasn't like fully been stocked because I just finished building it, but I have entrances everywhere, and it's just all made out of wood and concrete, white concrete. In my opinion, it looks really clean together. We have some outdoor areas. The balcony is by far my favorite area, but let's take a look at inside. Alright, so here we got the clothing aisle. I would wish this place was full so I can show it to you full, but bro, I've been playing for way too long and I have to leave this Saturday. Yeah, I just have to leave in general, but here are a couple of stores. This is the gem store. There's still a lot of trash on the floor. This is the gun store. I put some Texas theme, you know, cactuses, whatnot. I thought it fit better. This is the display aisle. This is the tiny little grocery store. This is where you would get the money to pay for anything in this game. Alright, here is the car dealership. Over here we got our appliances, which look really cool. I feel like I should hire more janitors to clean all this up, but whatever. Alright, over here we got our produce aisle. Over here we got more stuff, more and more stuff. We got our video game aisle here, we got more stores here, and this is the beautiful balcony. Alright, so comment down below what you think of this building. I really appreciate if you click that like and subscribe because this video took way too long. Alright, and please make sure to tell me if you want me to do more of this or want me to play more Retail Tycoon in general. I would love to play more of this game. It was pretty fun, but I kind of need a little break, maybe a week or a couple of days to break. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.